Hi, good morning, good morning.
Hi.
Okay, I'm just noticing, Nicole, on our background, I was watching another StreamYard like tutorial over the weekend because I'm trying to figure
Okay.
out this Zoom thing. And she had this like really beautiful background with like moving parts. I'm like, I thought of you
Mm.
immediately. I'm like, we gotta get one of those.
We need to learn how to do those.
Yes, exactly, exactly. Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. So, Nicole, in our quest to understand linchpin and to share what we do with our clients, we have decided today, and I'm just looking down on my phone to make sure if any comments come in, we can see them. So what we've decided to do today is to dive a little deep into our own linchpins. And Nicole has been a brave, willing participant to talk about her linchpin for Bright Bold Creative. So last week, if anybody was tuning, no, gosh, it's a week before. It's been
Before
2 weeks now.
Christmas, yes.
I love it. I love it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Before Christmas, we launched the JourneyCrafting Market Exchange. Full transparency, this is our ability as an agency to operate in a model that we think actually works better for us and our clients. So we have partnered with each other, with an amazing copywriter, with a video expert, and with Dan Heavey, a coding expert. And we've coupled our services and we're using, you could call it swarming, you could call it sprinting, you can call it like clustering, you can call it hacking, whatever you want to call it. But basically, it's a concentrated period of time where we just get a lot of stuff done and launch it into the world. So super fun, super love it. But one of those is Nicole's business. And Nicole is the owner and creator of Bright Bold Creative. So if you want to know me here, it's Bright Bold Creative. Yes, she did do all of these designs in this build because she's just an amazingly talented lady. And she has also cracked the code on creating templates for both 1.0 and 2.0. We can do it. We've tested it. It's amazing. And so there was, for those of you who have a historical understanding of the ClickFunnels community, there was two women who used to have a template shop. And it was very popular. They had quite a following, and most of the funnel designers and builders had one of their templates because they were beautiful. We knew they converted, et cetera, et cetera. So they have left the space and they've gone off to do their own thing. And so it left quite a void in the market. You'll see a lot of templates out there, but they're what we historically would call bro marketing templates. And they're not beautiful. They're very kind of cold and bro, for lack of a better word. And so, which again is if that's your thing, do it. Like that, no offense whatsoever. But we do recognize that, especially more in the female market, or people who just kind of want to have something well designed. And by well designed, I mean a little bit more emphasis on design and design elements versus anything else. So Nicole has stepped forward and said, I think that we need to have these templates for 2.0 and 1.0 back out in the world. It's like, Nicole, I agree with you. You're brilliant. Let's do this. So she has created her Bright Bold Creative Shop. And you're going to be hearing a lot more from Nicole on social about her amazing thing. But Nicole, did I leave anything off? I know I am talking for you and I'm not meaning to. I'm just
no. No, you never leave anything out. Thank you so much.
Of course, of course. Okay, and so this is her shop. And we started with funnel hubs and funnel trees. She has big plans to add. She does amazing templates in Canva. So we oftentimes do courses, and she can crank out a workbook that is beautiful, on brand, and just absolutely like I'm always like, wow. So she's going to start to share some of those templates and make those available. And I know that you can find a lot of templates out there. So let's just be really clear. There's a ton of templates out there that you can choose from, but I think that there's something very unique about understanding ClickFunnels, specific use cases around ClickFunnels. And I think that's what Nicole brings, especially when you're designing.
Thanks.
Of course, yeah, especially when you're designing funnels. She is a student of the art for sure and continues to improve. So yeah. Okay, so this is what you're looking at right here is her shop, which again, I think is just absolutely incredible. I love what you did with the leaves and the background. It's so cool. So cool. And we are looking at it on an enormous screen. So if I need to shrink it down, Nicole, I can do that.
Well,
So
I mean, it's built in 2.0, so it should be really responsive. So this will be a good test for it as well.
Right? I know.
And I just want to say, like, this is one part of the shop. It's still growing in the back end into more of a shop, because at this stage we only have this one thing. But as soon as the other funnels are done, then it'll look more like a shop where there'll be different templates and not just the funnel tree.
Yeah. Well, and kudos to you. I know we launched imperfectly. We willingly went into launching imperfectly. We're trying to embrace launching imperfectly. And so, yes, that was that is never an easy thing. So yes. Okay. So I want to just kind of talk a little bit about the shop, and then we'll go to the linchpin. So in here, you can see she's made funnel trees, and funnel tree is something that I think it's a term we coined. I haven't seen it out there. We said, hey, you don't need Linktree, you don't need Milkshake, you don't need whatever new thing is under the sun. If you have ClickFunnels, you can make an amazing equivalent that you actually have control over and brand at no extra cost. Why not? So she has created beautiful link trees for our customers. You can see those there. And then you can see what's coming. And right now it's just the funnel trees, but much more, as she said, is planned in the template. And basically it's bag it, style it, and launch it. It's awesome. Okay, so this is essentially her store. There are 3 templates available now, which again are beautiful. You can come take a look. I highly encourage you to do it. And she'll also walk you through the brand guide and the style guide in order to do it. And then she also has an affiliate play, which is important when we talk about linchpin. So we both are students of Safe Design School. Catherine Jones is brilliant. And if you have not taken her Safe Design School and are actually interested in learning how to build funnels, you need to take her course. And so Nicole has her affiliate link to Safe Design School with Catherine out there. And you can get that offer in order to better leverage. If you really want to learn how to build these things, that's the connection. Would you agree with that, Nicole, or would you add anything else to that?
No, 100%. Yes. And I mean, I think even we can attribute like our whole journey online to Catherine.
Oh my gosh, absolutely.
Because without her course, I mean, we wouldn't have met.
Right.
I wouldn't know anything I know today and be able to build like the amazing stuff for clients that we've been doing without her course. And I've even used her course to teach myself how to do all the other things, like the workbooks and the ebooks and like websites and lots of different things.
Yeah,
so
100%.
Shout out to Catherine.
Yep, 100%. Yeah. I see David's with us too. Hi, David. Shout out to you. Thanks for joining us. Nice to see you as well. Okay, so here's the exciting part. So this morning when Nicole and I were going live, I was like, Nicole, you've launched Brightbow Creative. You're going to come out with these amazing templates. You're just going to keep growing your shop. Let's try, and again, we're doing this in reverse order, full transparency, but we are hook, line, and sinker buying into Russell Brunson's linchpin strategy. For those of you who are not familiar with Russell's linchpin strategy, let me go ahead and pull it up. So the linchpin strategy, I have added some to this, but essentially it's this core box here where you have a dramatic demonstration that leads into a continuity. And then you have a MIFGI, most incredible free gift ever, that also leads into a continuity and a dramatic demonstration. Later on, you have a dramatic demonstration too with a high ticket. Okay, this is the essence. And then you have traffic going into it. In the linchpin strategy, he recommends that you start with continuity. Now, both Nicole and I are finding that very difficult, not just with our own businesses, but with our clients, because, and even Russell, to his own point, like selling continuity is hard. And Nicole and I don't usually operate in e-com models. We work with coaches, course creators, SaaS owners, who are more service providers, right? And so we understand very well what continuity looks like in their world, but in e-com world, it's a little bit harder. So when we started scratching our head of like, okay, what is continuity for e-com then? And so we, of course, looked to Russell, and we were like, okay, his Zuma is an e-com, and like, what's his continuity? And of course, we found it. It's super simple. His continuity is a subscription. But of course, that's easy because it's a drink and you put it into water and you're going to consume it and you need more. Like, that makes sense. Yeah. Templates and things like that are not necessarily true. So it's kind of like one and done. Yeah. And like and then we were like, okay, well, there's like, 12 different funnels or different funnel types. And so like you could buy a new, but you could also just do a package. That's not really a subscription. So I have talked to Nicole a lot about this concept. Okay, for you in the US, you're going to get this right away. I didn't understand that this was not an international thing. So I'm like, hey, Nicole, how about we Bob Ross it? She's like, I don't know what that means. What? How do you not know what Bob Ross is? So we have engaged in a lot of Bob Ross YouTubes and a lot of Bob Ross history.
Yes.
You're really in the know now on Bob Ross. And
I'm in the know.
Bob Ross station. Yes. Which I personally would love to see a Nicole Bob Ross session, because again, just like crawling inside her brain and how she thinks about design is pretty fascinating. Definitely lots to learn there. So we have thought, okay, for continuity, there's an annual subscription, but that subscription might include access to templates, but also the Bob Ross. Okay, so Dave Poole says, do the continuity before e-com, bring the e-com in afterwards. Surely you can create a group subscription program about XYZ and then introduce your client base to higher value server. So theoretically, Dave, I think you're right. But in tactical, like, okay, what does that actually mean? Right. So, and again, remember that our whole goal with Bright Bold Creative for Nicole is we already run an agency that takes a lot of our time. And so we're trying very desperately to find stuff that's not a time for money exchange. And so when we're looking at continuity and we're scratching our head of like, what would a continuity be that's not a time for money exchange? Yes, it's education. Or, something that's like an async, like a Bob Ross, right? Where it's like you can still kind of log in and the sessions are there. I have questions though around, because to me, Bob Ross is free, right? Like you could join him and it's free content. And that's what brought people in. And so then I'm like, well, what do you then choose that goes behind your firewall? You know what I mean? Versus that's like out there on YouTube driving traffic. I know with Geek Out, what we decided is that we offer Geek Camp free for 4 days and then it goes into the vault, right? As a technique. But I still don't know. I don't know. Lots of questions. So we're going to pose it to the two.
Like Geek Camp again is in the coaching, course creator, service provider sphere, where this again is not. And so even something like that going into a vault, it's not necessarily a continuity thing. With not a physical thing, but a digital product that you're selling.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So Dave, if you have other resources, we are on the hunt. We're in learn mode. So and like a no kidding tactical learn mode. So yes, please share any tactics. And again, we're going to pose it into the 2CX group. Okay, Dave says, absolutely reduce the time, but the chief benefit from a continuity is the relationship. We don't want to lose that. Oh, sure. Yeah. Again, that feels really abstract to me, Dave. I'd love like tactical. So like, I think relationship, right, would be really quality content. If we're thinking async relationships, I think about quality content and maybe key trigger events, right, around when they raise their hand on stuff. So an automation or a freebie or something like that. But it is from a continuity perspective, it's an interesting question that we're still scratching our heads on. Okay, so that's as far as we got so far. Sure, yeah. That sounds good, Dave. David, sorry. Okay, so let's talk Mifki. So Mifki is how to create brand guides for yourself and your clients was one of the ideas that we had. So one thing that we do in our agency is we don't work on any funnels unless we have brand guides. And I think actually let me pull up, I think we have, oh, here we go. Here is a brand guide. All right. So this is just an example. This is a brand guide light that we're just working on. So we have a whole process that we take people through to establish what their brand is. And it's very much coming from like my prior corporate, but like dialing it down a little bit for the entrepreneur. And how do we just make sure that the intended experience is there with the brand in the funnels, in the workbooks, in whatever we do. So we always create brand guides, even if they're light, like what you see here. It doesn't matter what price point our customers are at. We always have a brand guide for all customers because it just helps us to be able to go faster. So this is, again, you can see a very, very simple brand guide. I want to show actually your brand guide for Imperia because I think that is just one of the most beautiful brand guides you've ever done. So this is just to give you another example of a brand guide. And again, the Mifki would be, so this is another example of a brand guide. This one is a little bit more involved just because the nature of what we're doing with this particular client is a little bit different. So anyway, so this is the brand guide for Imperia. And so this is, you can see, we go through and just talk about what's the voice, what's the emotion, what are we hoping to get, what's the logo, typography, brand colors, what's it going to look like in funnels, what's the rules around how we use things, contrast, when we do big quotes, like how do things look? And so this is, shapes and lines, imagery. And so this is basically now our guide. Anytime that we go into a build, right, we use this everywhere we go. And it gives us a sense of like, what do we want the experience to be with every funnel that we create? So Nicole is a master at building these brand guides. And so let me go back here. One of the ideas that we had for the Mifki was to create brand guides for how to do this for yourself and or your clients, which would be pretty amazing Mifki, in my opinion. So yes. Okay, awesome. I saw that, Dave. Thank you so much. The one thing I don't know, you may have to put it in the group, Dave, just because the way StreamYard works, I think actually that does. Oh, I do see it as a Facebook comment, so we'll grab it afterwards. Thank you so much, David. Yeah,
thanks, David.
I think David. Okay, so that's the idea on the Mifki. And again, we could put that together pretty quick, I think. So what do you think? Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Okay, so then the next one, per Russell, is you start with continuity, then you go to Mifki, then you go up to dramatic demonstration. Okay, Nicole is somebody who is deeply thoughtful and very creative, and she also lives on the other side of the world, and majority of our clients are US based. And she is a mom of 4 and has a pretty busy life. And so things that require a lot of time, like in terms of like synchronous time, are not normally a good idea. So as her and I were talking about dramatic demonstration, when we look at Masterclass, Summit, and Challenge, until you can evergreen it, right, they require synchronous time. We're like, those are kind of out right away. So we are focused on webinar. We have no idea what that looks like yet or what that means. But we're like, I think webinar logically is the best choice just because of kind of time constraints and what we're working with. So, okay, so that's what we got so far. The thing that Russell doesn't talk a lot about in the linchpin is the traffic strategy. So we, our agency, do, like, he doesn't talk about Funnel Hub, which is technically part of like the shadow funnel, which is part of the traffic strategy, not a main part, not what you drive traffic to, but something important. We do a combination of YouTube, Facebook. So we use a tool called Group Track in order to nurture Facebook people. We've talked a little bit about on the show. We'll talk more. But I think that we'll continue to use that strategy. But Nicole is also really good at TikTok. And we have talked about Pinterest just because it has design. So, yeah, I don't know, Nicole, where you're at. We didn't really talk deep about that, but you've had more experience. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm leaning more towards Pinterest, I must be honest. It's just because of the ability to batch content and then schedule it out. And I mean, anything that's evergreen that'll continue running and running and running for the lifetime of your offer is a win for me.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
definitely trying to, I actually started creating some pins. I just haven't posted anything yet.
Oh, you're holding out. Okay, I'm gonna have to do the push. Go.
Procrastinating a little bit.
Yes. And I think just a shout out. So when we were trying to investigate how to do Pinterest, we had an interesting encounter. We had a client who, she was a blogger. She is an expert in female reproductive, basically how to, after you have a baby, how to get your muscles back and to have like healthy reproductive. This is not her language, but basically how to like fix diastasis recti, get all your parts back in the right working order and not pee your pants. So she was an expert in that. And when she had her babies, she was out of the workforce for a little bit. And she created a blog and she had a massive following, and Pinterest was her number one traffic source. So Nicole and I, when we took that client on, at that time in our agency, we were still considering doing social media services. We have since stopped doing that, but we'll talk about that journey. So we were like, yes, we're not an expert, but we know enough to be dangerous. And so we'll take this on. She's like, great, Pinterest is my source. So Nicole and I are like, all right, we got to really get like more savvy. We're savvy users, but not like super savvy in terms of marketing. So we took Jenna Kuchar's Pinterest course, which is really good. I highly recommend it to anybody who is interested. It seemed like the only one out there that was, to me, legit, like from a legit big player. But yes. And so, but we did not find the same conversion, that she had originally found from like her thing was a WordPress blog and a Pinterest traffic feed. So when we tried to like reestablish that with her current audience, Pinterest audience, it didn't go well, right? We didn't get a conversion from the current audience. We basically got a higher conversion from new audience. So as we reapproach, the social world, I think Nicole and I both talked about, like, of the social platforms, YouTube and Pinterest are our favorite, and they are search platforms, not social platforms. And so we, so I think YouTube is something that is, currently in our offer stack, but I love your idea of Pinterest. And plus, just from a design standpoint, I think that only makes sense that it's Pinterest. All right. So you're going to launch that by next
and
week.
Definitely YouTube as well.
You can do it. You heard it here, ladies and gentlemen. Nicole's going to be sharing her pins with group here every week.
Oh, goodness.
Yes, and then YouTube for the Bob Ross, the Nicole,
the Bob Ross,
the Bob Ross it with Nicole.
Yes. I should call it that. Let's Bob Ross it with Nicole.
Let's Bob Ross it. Yes. I don't know if that has copyright, but I totally think we should embrace that. Yeah. Maybe we could do like a South African spin on it, like the the earring version of Bob Ross. The accessorized Bob Ross. I think we're onto something there. That's it. That's what we can do. Oh, and then how he has this crazy beginning intro thing? We could do something where like your intro is the earring, like or something like that could be the inspiration for the show. Nicole, I think we're onto something. This has got to be. This has got to happen.
Oh, goodness.
Okay, funny side story that's going to totally take us off on a tangent, but it's worth sharing. So this 2 years ago, we had a white elephant gift party with my family members, and it was funny, typical white elephant gift. And the gift that I got stuck with was a Bob Ross chia pet head. So it was like Bob Ross, right? And the chia pet would be his fro that would come out, right? Like this was the gift I got stuck with. this was the most creepy thing in the entire world. But like, you don't say no
Did
to
you,
an elephant gift right away. You
did
always,
you grow
you
it?
go back and then you re-gift it or try to get rid of it. So, so I get home and it became a running joke in my family with the people I live with, and that we would hide the Bob Ross, and like it would pop up in random places. You know, we go to
Oh,
go to the
no.
cupboard to get a bag of chips, and like we pull out the chips, and there's Bob Ross right there. You know, two scariest Bob Ross moments though, because this thing is still around. Like I don't know where it's at
Oh,
right now, but I'm waiting for it to come out. So the Bob Ross chip at Ed, the two scary moments is we have a bathroom right here. And we have a window right by the toilet, right? And so like you sit down and there's this beautiful tree that's right outside the window. So I go in and I sit down on the toilet and I'm looking up at the tree, normally my peaceful moment. There's Bob Ross head running the tree. I'm like, ah! So that was the first scary moment. The second scary moment was, this was the worst. I go to get into I do lavender mist. So like hydrosol. So, you know, when they make lavender oil, there's a water that comes out of the process and it smells wonderful and they sell it. It's called hydrosol. It's really good for like anti-inflammatory and all the other good stuff. And hey, is it Sabatine, I think. Yeah, please feel free. Catch the replay. We'd love to have you. So anyway, there's hydrosol. So I do this at night, right? And so like I spray my bed with wonderful lavender hydrosol, and I love it. And it's a ceremony. Anyway, so I'm spraying, and it's all wonderful. And I pull down my sheets. Bob Ross. And I'm like, oh, like right on my pillow. Oh, like, no. Yes. So I don't know. He has not surfaced in a while, but I'm sure like revenge, the Bob Ross head revenge is being planted. I don't know where it's at.
Dun dun dun.
I know we can have it as a mascot on your show. Yeah. Oh, man.
When I come to you, I'll bring him back and it'll be like my little pet.
Yes, let's do it.
Oh, goodness.
Awesome. Okay, well, thank you guys all so much for tuning in. Stay tuned. If you are interested, again, just to make another pitch there, the Bright Bowl Creative Shop is open. If you are interested in getting funnel tree templates for your ClickFunnels 2.0 or 1.0, those are available. You can see some of the style guides there. And I think because we just launched, we are totally open to other things that you guys need in the shop. Like I said, Nicole is busy creating a ton of templates for you guys, but not templates like plug and play templates, because those usually everybody wants slightly different. It comes with an ability for you to slightly customize your template with your stuff that you want. And she helps you do that. So amazing product, amazing lady, very talented. And thank you so much for being vulnerable today and letting us talk your linchpin, Nicole.
And if anybody has any ideas on continuity or a Mifki for my shop, please let us know.
Yes. Absolutely. Awesome. All right. Well, thank you all so much and have a wonderful, what are we at? Wednesday? Yes, Wednesday. Have a wonderful Wednesday. We'll be back tomorrow in more adventures of Linchpin and all things ClickFunnels and diving into agency work. So thank you all so much. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.